It is currently 2026 at the time of this recording, and to say that Xbox is not in a good state would be a huge understatement. So, why do I bring this up? Right? Well, it's because I want to mention the fact that growing up, I used to love the concept of Xbox. I got an Xbox in 2014, for the very first time. The Xbox One was my first Xbox. It wasn't really mine; it was more so my brother's, right? But when I got around to collecting video games, the original Xbox was something I was just insanely drawn to because if you haven't guessed by now or deduced through the channel, I love things that have aura. If you have aura, it's like, oh my gosh, salute. This thing is gas. And the original Xbox has aura. It 1000% has aura. And for that, I want to dig a little bit into my original Xbox collection. So without further ado, here we go. To start us off, I've got the Fable games. So I've got the first Fable and Fable the Lost Chapters. I think Fable 2 is on the original Xbox, and if it is, then I have it. If it's not, then it's on the 360 probably. But I've been super interested in the Fable series because I love games that have a very morality system. Like you can do whatever you want. Anything to get me hooked on a story-based game is you make this choice, you can affect how this pans out and how people see you in this way, yada yada yada. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. The Fable game is something I really want to get to, so we'll be starting on this video with an Oscar patented. I have not played this yet, but I want to. Next up, we've got Enter the Matrix. This is a game that a lot of people say is a phenomenal Xbox game. I have not watched the Matrix movies, or I don't know if there's like one or two movies, but people are like, oh, like the Matrix video game is actually pretty solid. So I ended up getting it. As you can tell, I don't really have much to say because I haven't watched the movie and I haven't played the game. So, yep, we're already off to a phenomenal start. The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Now, I can say something about this one. So I'm an idiot. I thought this was Oblivion. I can't say anything about this one. But except the thing though is that like I have a much higher chance of getting to this because I've played Skyrim, I've played Oblivion. I just haven't touched Morrowind yet, and Morrowind is one that I'm really, really hoping is as good as Oblivion because I loved Oblivion actually, and I really hope that the Elder Scrolls series just keeps cooking the further down you go because Skyrim was cool, right? But like I think when I first played Skyrim, I was like, oh man, this is really great. And like I just kind of kept the stories of like, oh, how great Skyrim is as a game in my head. And then eventually I sat with it and I was like, oh, like I don't really feel the urge to go back to it. But granted, I played the Switch version, so who knows, maybe that mattered or not. But in my opinion, the Switch version is a fine enough port, and I don't have much to compare it to. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Elder Scrolls, Morrowind. Yeah. Next up, we've got Driver. I also heard this is a pretty solid Xbox game. A lot of my Xbox collection is going to be a lot of how do I put this? Stuff that if you looked up like some great Xbox games, maybe to fill out the collection, try out if you just got an original Xbox. I think a lot of these games are going to be on there. Some of them are just on there for their cover. I'm pretty sure Driver is one of the games that I got because people are like, this game is actually pretty solid. It might not be, who knows? Maybe I'm misremembering things, but Driver is one of those games that it could happen. It could happen. Dark Summit. Okay, this was an aura pick. I like snowboarding games from the early 2000s. I have the SSX games. I like the SSX games. Any game that allows you to do snowboarding in a really cool PS2, N64 / PS1 aesthetic is already in my books as a phenomenal, nice little game. Unlock the mystery. The military has mysteriously closed the summit of Mount Garrick, and Chief O'Leary is trying desperately to drive boarders off the mountain. You have what it takes to explore this vast terrain, expose a conspiracy shrouded at the summit. Ooh. Counter-Strike. Okay, I can actually talk about this one. Not the specific game, but about Counter-Strike as a whole. So, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I am mad, first off, that Counter-Strike 2 has replaced CSGO because CSGO was my childhood. I was never good at the game. I just want to also say that before I continue, before people go like, oh, like, like what rank were you up? I was a Silver 1, Silver 2 straight up the entire time, right? Shooting games are just not my thing, right? Really good memories, man. Really good memories with just some middle school friends queuing up some CS:GO. Getting to use that time to either talk about the game or even just talk about life in general as we played. A whole lot of dogging on me because I was trash, but hey, that's just a part of the experience. So, and I got this familiar because I was like, oh shoot, a Valve game on console. I know that was like a common occurrence back then, but like it's just very interesting to see it now, and it's kind of like a relic almost. So, but I do want to kind of try this out, see what the original CS was like on Xbox, and it's a platinum hit, so clearly this sold pretty well. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. Now, I've only played Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. It is a masterpiece, a banger. I do want to eventually try out the other Baldur's Gate games, see if they are something that I'd enjoy as well. I know they're not like these, critically acclaimed. Well, I mean, they still review pretty well, but these critically acclaimed games on the level of Baldur's Gate 3, but I still want to try out the other Baldur's Gate games eventually. The Matrix Path of Neo. I think this game is like the worst between the two Matrix games, maybe. That's at least the vibe I get. But it would be the exact same thing I have to say about the first one. I've not watched the Matrix movies. I probably should at some point, actually. And I've not played the game. So, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. So, actually, really funny story. Tonight, at the time of this recording, I plan on watching The Lord of the Rings, extended cut for the first time. Obviously, maybe not like one sitting, because it'll be pretty late. But I do plan on eventually, like, getting to this film series finally, and it will be something I'm actually really excited to get to. So who knows, maybe eventually after I'll be like, I need more Lord of the Rings, I need more LOTAR, I need more LOTR. I don't know if people say those acronyms at all when they're talking about Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is pretty easy to say, so I don't know why you wouldn't just say Lord of the Rings, but I'm getting way away from myself. And my point, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. This subtitle is funny to me too, because The Return of the King is just such a it's just so synonymous with me now. So yeah. 007 Agent Under Fire. I really don't know why I got this game. I think it was one of those things where it's like, okay, like it's a 007 game. I liked GoldenEye growing up, so let me see if I can actually just like dip my toe a little bit into the GoldenEye franchise. But the GoldenEye franchise, the 007 franchise. But I've heard a lot of the other 007 games, although they sold well, are like not like they're not GoldenEye. And GoldenEye, honestly, to be honest, is not even that great. Just keeping it beat. So Perfect Dark clears it, in my opinion. Perfect Dark just has the best amount of sauce, good maps. It just feels great to play. Just a banger overall, honestly. I've got Gun Valkyrie. Now, this game looked interesting. That was pretty much the main reason. I got it at a game store in New Mexico. The game owner, the store owner vouched for it. And so I was like, fair enough. I think it might be the dev too. Oh, yeah, it's a Sega published game. So I was like, makes sense. And I think it reminded me a little bit, especially with like the mechs, like, okay, like, something kind of similar. It's like Zone of the Enders, maybe. So that's like the main reason I got it. But like, Gun Valkyrie, man, have not played it. It's still in its like wrapping, so that's how you know that I haven't really like played it yet. So we've got the Grand Theft Auto double pack. On my collecting journey, I've sought to complete as many series and franchises as possible, and that includes the Grand Theft Auto series. Now, when I first got into collecting, I got Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Grand Theft Auto 3, right, on the PS2. And they were bundled into my PS2. So it was like, okay, I'm already out to a great start. But then I go to the store and I see something like this where it's like, hey, we've got 3 and Vice City. Now I already have 3, but I didn't have Vice City though. And this bundle looks pretty cool in my opinion. So the front's a little scarred off, but like it was just kind of nice to like see like the double packs be like a thing back then. I know they're still kind of a thing now. I actually just learned that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and also Super Mario Party is like a double pack for the Switch 1. And that was something where I was like, whoa, this is my first time actually seeing this because it came into the store recently. So I was like, all right, like, let me kind of dig into this since I need one of the games here for the collection anyway. So, but one thing that sucks about collecting, and I guess I'll divert away from showing games for a second here, is that sometimes we'll run into those moments where it's like, do I get a series on one console and just stick to the one system, or do I like divert it away from different systems. I don't really have a rule with that. I'm like, oh, if I don't have the game, I don't have the game. So like, let me just get the game for the system that I own, right? But sometimes I'm like, oh, like if I play Grand Theft Auto like 3, like I have to play like Vice City on my original Xbox, and it's like, oh, that's just too much. Like, and like if it's like, okay, I have the Sky like DS, right? But I also have the Sky PC, which is like they're both like one, like they're both the Sky one pretty much, but like or the first Sky game, but they're on different consoles and like they have different names too, but it just relates to the port. It's weird. It's weird. But anyway, yeah, that's just kind of something that like I've always thought about. Like, how do I like reconcile with this? But maybe it's not something to even reconcile with. Maybe I should just like let it be. We're letting it be on FIFA Street. So I actually enjoy the FIFA games. And I mean the like few that I played like 10 years ago. So for people out there, I'm Nigerian, and Africans as a whole, and honestly, most of the world that is not America, pretty much everything that's not America and like maybe Canada, love soccer. So it made sense that I was soccer adjacent growing up, right? And so I have a soft spot for the FIFA series because like I enjoyed playing those games. Anytime I would go to like an uncle's house or like a cousin's house. So I saw FIFA Street, and NBA Street, right, is something that like is ingrained into my mind as an NBA fan. So something like FIFA Street is like one of those like whoa, like what I'm saying. I kind of want to try this out. What would be the soccer equivalent of NBA Street? I've not played this game yet, so I can't vouch for it. I know, shocker, right? But FIFA Street is one I definitely got because I was like, this is an interesting premise. So Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. Now the Prince of Persia series is another one that is like one of those like ingrained into childhood memories franchises. Because when I was younger, I also went to school back in Africa, right? And Prince of Persia was one of those like games that like some people played, especially on like school owned equipment, like the school owned computers. Like we had a computer lab there. And Prince of Persia was one of those games that people were playing on there. And I always think about like that memory watching like the older kids play Prince of Persia. Every single time I see the Prince of Persia franchise, I got Prince of Persia. It's not Sands of Time. I'm holding that right now, but like it's the newer game that came out from Ubisoft or whatever. It's like the Crown something. I don't even know. But yeah, that Prince of Persia game, it will be on the screen. But that Prince of Persia game is one where I was like, okay. People say this one's good. I hate to support Ubisoft, but like people say the game is good. It's like let me just give it a go, right? And I haven't tried it yet, so man, it's crazy, right? But I haven't tried it yet, so I'm excited to eventually make one of those two, either Sands of Time or I think it's the Lost Legacy, maybe. And the other one, my first Prince of Persia game, the completion. Next up, we got Panzer Dragoon Orta. If you can't have Panzer Dragoon Saga, you can get this. I don't even know how this game compares to Panzer Dragoon Saga. I heard this game's pretty short too. It's an Xbox exclusive, as you can see on the cover. So who knows? Maybe that's that's another boon for it. It's still in its wrapping, so I'll let you guess if I played it or not. It's okay. I'll wait. Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but I do want to eventually play this because it's the only Panzer Dragoon experience I have. I did mod my Saturn, so I could play Saga because I did put it on the mod chip, or like the Saru. But yeah, Panzer Dragoon Orta, the Panzer Dragoon series, is the only thing in my mind that I think of when I think about super high game prices. I kind of want to eventually have actual playthrough memories with this franchise. Next up, I've got Ninja Gaiden. Now, I have played a little bit of Ninja Gaiden. I played like a demo of 3, like Razor's Edge, on the Wii U when I was younger, and I was like, this is pretty good, but I only was allowed to get like 1 or 2 games a year, so I wasn't going to waste one of my slots on Ninja Gaiden, unfortunately. Yeah, I know. But I am now an adult, and I can spend my money on what I want. So I decided to spend it on a Ninja Gaiden game that I have not touched yet. So Ninja Gaiden is one of those that's up next. It's definitely going to get touched eventually. It could be this year. It's not going to be this year. But could be next year. It could be the year after that. 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 NASCAR Thunder 2002. Now then, I actually used to be someone interested in NASCAR. I know, crazy, shocker, right? But I haven't been interested in NASCAR in a long time. It's crazy too because I got this game like maybe like 2-ish years ago. But the concept of making my libraries like almost these like snapshots in time, it really interests me, and that's why you kind of see that with some of these things. And you'll see it a lot, especially with the Xbox libraries that we're about to go through. So NASCAR Thunder 2002 had to make the list, man. And it was like $2, I think. So that was like, come on, man. We've all bought Steam games. I'm tired of feeling bad about this. We've all bought Steam games that have like we really don't have a strong intention of touching, but like you see the mostly positive on the all review section, and you see it's like $2, and you see that they're doing a developer sale, and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta get this game. Like, and then it sits in your Steam library. I was scrolling through my Steam family library. Actually, this is a great tangent to go on. I was scrolling through my Steam family library, and I was like, I got absolute bangers in here. I'm sharing it with like 3 of my other friends. I'm like, we've got absolute bangers in here. But I just don't play on my PC. I get on my PC, I do work, and then I shut it off, and then I just go do something else, and then I'm on Reddit for like an hour and a half. Like it's bad. So, but I don't even want to get into that because I'm gonna start ranting about social media. And like anyway, NASCAR Thunder 2002. No, I haven't played it, but who knows? Who knows? Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. I think I mentioned this in my PSP video or something, but like I was thinking about the Pierre Bourne line once I Midnight Club Edition that he doesn't like Butterfly, and he's just shouting out the game for no reason. I don't think, but yeah, I want to hop into a Midnight Club game. I've played like every single like major racing franchise, like Forza, Gran Turismo, Ridge Racer. I mean, Mario Kart, if you can count that. Sonic Racing All Stars, if you can count that. But I mean, nowadays it feels weird because like nowadays it's just Forza and Gran Turismo. But I do want to eventually get to Midnight Club because I feel like it's also the same thing where it's like a relic of its time. And it also came in a blockbuster case as well. I think I got this one from Syracuse too. So, yeah. Midnight Club 2, same spiel. Metal Gear Solid 2, Substance. Yeah, Substance. So I can actually talk about this because I've played the original Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, but I have not played the Substance ports over to the original Xbox. But Metal Gear Solid 2 is one of the greatest games of all time. Full stop. I don't care. No debate with your mom. I really don't care. Metal Gear Solid 2 is one of the greatest games of all time. I think it's better than 3. That's not like a controversial opinion, but like I think if you like polled most Metal Gear Solid fans, they'll probably have like 3 above 2. Maybe they'll have 1 above 2, but 2 is just such a phenomenal game, man. Like, absolute banger of a game. So I'm really excited to see what the Xbox port, adds to it. Maybe if it's ever time for a replay. I don't really replay games unless their names are Fire Emblem Three Houses and Sly Cooper. So we'll see if that happens. But at the same time, though, I'm kind of also interested just in the fact that there are some PS2 games that eventually the devs are like, all right, like we're gonna port this over to Xbox, and we're gonna like add some neat little things. I have a game in here later that I will show you that I also feel very similarly about, so it's gonna be cool. Mega Man Anniversary Collection. I've played a good amount of the Mega Man games. I played 1, I played 2, I played 4, I played 6, I played 9, I played 11. I just kind of sporadically jumped from them as a kid, and the Anniversary Collection or Anniversary Collections in general for platformers as a whole is a lost art, right? Sonic Mega Collection, right, or Sonic Mega Collection Plus is one of the best collections of platforming games of all time. I dare I say one of the best collections of all time. But the thing about the Mega Man franchise in general is that their collections do not miss, and they're still making them actually, which is insane to me. So stuff like this, the Battle Network Collection, which I have, the X Collection, X2 Collection, the Mega Man Legacy Collection, which is like the more modern version of this. Man, dude, like Capcom is in their bag when it comes to making sure Mega Man fans are able to play these games on as many platforms as possible. I think some companies need to take notes. Yes, it's the company that you're thinking about. You know what I'm talking about. Uh-oh. Killer app alert. Uh-oh. Halo Combat Evolved. It's Halo. Halo CE. I actually have played a little bit of this. I played it multiplayer with friends. This was like maybe like a year or two ago, and it was actually a fun time. It was phenomenal. Just a whole lot of laughs were had because we were just messing around. None of us were really good at the game, but it just reminded me about like what the Halo franchise means to me. I've never beaten a Halo campaign, but Halo is kind of almost this game where like I don't really think you need to do that. I mean, like now you should probably start doing that because no one's going to come over to your house if you're an adult, and even if you're a kid, to be honest, and play Halo with you multiplayer because we all have lives now. We can't really be doing that. The thing with Halo CE and I guess the Halo franchise in general is that like it has spawned so many positive memories with my friends, with my with my brother, like just with so many different moments where it's like this is just fun, man. Like it's just fun, like getting to like run around this map, doing these things with these different weapons. Like definitely one of the best multiplayers of all time. And in addition to that, I also have Halo 2. Some people say this is the best Xbox game, period. Like original Xbox. I don't know about Xbox as a whole, but just original Xbox game, period. So I'm excited to eventually just jump into Halo 2 because I feel like I don't really need to play the campaign of CE to just jump into 2. But if there's any Halo people want to correct me in the comments, I'm 1,000% down for being corrected. It's one of the greatest fighting games of all time in Soul Calibur 2. I own Soul Calibur 2 only through here, I think. So I don't own the PS2 version. I own the Xbox version. Never mind. I own the GameCube version. Of course I own the Xbox version. I own the GameCube version. So never mind about that. But Soul Calibur 2 is... yeah, it's really good. I don't really know what else to say. I just enjoy playing the game, man. So it's solid. I like it a lot. I have not played the Xbox version, but I doubt that there's much I will get out of it aside from the fact that I can play as Spawn. So, but yeah, it'll yeah. I also find it funny how every other game has like characters that are like unique to them. I think PlayStation has like Haichan or whatever from Tekken, and then like GameCube has Link, and Xbox just has Spawn. The Sims 2. Now, I mentioned in my PSP video that I've not played The Sims 2. I have a friend, shout out Ethan, and he is a Sims 2 truther. I actually booted up The Sims 2 for a little bit, and I immediately closed it because I was like, I'm not really feeling it right now, right? So, hey, don't judge me. We've all been there. So, I want to eventually give The Sims 2 a good old earnest try, a good old attempt, but it's not going to be on the Xbox probably because I own it on PC. Same thing goes for The Sims, but to be honest, because I don't think I own The Sims anywhere else, I feel even less obliged to play The Sims because for some reason, like I feel like The Sims 1 is like, all right, now you're getting a little too like foundational for me. I can appreciate where the Sims franchise has come from. I can appreciate what it's done, but that does not mean I need to go back and play the first one. It's like being like, oh, word, like you want to get into Bomberman? Go play Bomberman on the Famicom, like the original Famicom. And it's like, I don't think I want to do that. So The Sims, I'm leaving that alone. That is just, it's not my speed, not my style, not my style. Next up, Dystopian Society on Silent Hill. Oh shoot, Dystopian Society on Silent Hill. I think that by the time I did my PS2 video, I hadn't gotten Silent Hill 2 yet. So I do own Silent Hill 2 for the PlayStation 2. But I also own Silent Hill 2 for the Xbox. And I originally got the Xbox version because I was like, I want to own Silent Hill 2 physically. That's what I want. And not the remake, damn it. I want the original physical disc, right? So I'll settle for the port they did the Xbox because it's cheaper. But eventually, when I was going back to school, I was like, you know what? I want to get a game that I've really wanted for a super long time. And it doesn't matter if it's expensive. What matters is that I get it so I can be like, hey, new period in life. Let me wrap up the turbo collecting with like one like I got it, right? And I settled for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But then eventually I saw Silent Hill 2 in the wild and I was like, this is what I want. Silent Hill 2 had been like the absolute jewel of my eye and my collection for so long that I was so happy when I finally got the game. And I got about 2/3 of the way through it last Halloween, like last October. And I eventually stopped because life stuff just kind of got in the way. But I want to give it another go this year. So it's in my list of games to complete for the year. So I'm really excited to dig into it. I don't know if I'll really ever play Silent Hill 2 Restless Dreams, so maybe that might be something that leaves the collection eventually. But I am excited about the fact that Silent Hill 2 kind of almost represents like the entirety of my collecting journey. I feel like that and like the original like Breath of the Wild for the Switch One are two of those things where it's like, hey, this is like kind of almost the first game that like I got where I was like, oh, like, you know, it started up this, right? But Silent Hill 2 was almost just like, hey, like after this many games, we've come this far, right? And it means a lot to me too because my collection is very much a representation of like who I am and like what I'm interested in. Even though I may not have played these games, I can tell you that like there are very, very few of these that I've picked up just because I was walking through an aisle and I was like, ugh, like I just want that. So, but yeah, side thing over. Here's the last Xbox game, Shark Tale, for the Xbox. So I have something to say about Shark Tale's video games because I actually have played the Shark Tale video game, but on PC. I've not played the Xbox version. I think the Xbox version is quite different because I booted this up for a minute and realized that it is kind of different. I used to play the Shark Tale PC game a lot, and I used to love this little fish and little movie so much because um, his name's Oscar and my name's Oscar. So as a kid, you're like, whoa, that's crazy. So I gravitated a lot to this movie, and the movie was just super funny and charming. Will Smith does a great job voicing this guy, and so it was one of those things where I was like, you know, I want to own, you know, Shark Tale again, like physically. You know, I can't really own a physical Shark Tale CD without getting like a attachable like CD-ROM or CD-disk drive. And I think I could still do that, and I have thought about doing that actually. You know, maybe starting a physical PC game collection because I used to have PC games, but I realized it wouldn't be very big. It'd be like probably 2 or 3 games in there. So because there's Shark Tale and the SpongeBob movie video game. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for joining me for the original Xbox collection. Next video, we will be digging into the Xbox 360. There's a good amount more of those, so I am excited to dig into that as well. And I should be able to tell a couple more stories, both just from childhood and recently regarding that collection, but I think it'll be a fun time. But without further ado, thank you guys so much, and I will see y'all next time.